Welcome to the Visualize Meditations podcast, hosted by your friend Sasha Patil, a Chopra certified meditation teacher. The first step to creating the life of your dreams is to create a clear and compelling vision for what you want for the future. I'll be guiding you on visualization meditation so you can get clear on your deepest desires. Let's get started so you can turn your vision into a reality. Hi, hello, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Visualize Meditations podcast. It's your gal pal Sasha. To paint the scene for you, I'm currently at Paris in Paris. I arrived a week ago. I'm sitting by the Seine and I just wrapped up work, and every day I've been wandering around aimlessly for hours at a time, and that's all I've been doing is working and walking, basically. This is not the first time I've recorded this episode. I recorded it the first time at Jardin de Luxembourg over the weekend, and my mics weren't working, and I figured the audio should be good, and also the background should be good too. So let's get into it. The last time that we had a chat, I was in Miami for my birthday weekend, and a lot's happened since then. So I spent the entire month of May with loved ones, very close inner circle loved ones and friends and family. And honestly, it was so nice. Like the contrast off of spending so much time by myself in March and April, being surrounded by loved ones for the whole month of May. I didn't realize how much I actually needed it and how necessary it was, but it was super necessary. And I'm really grateful that I was able to spend pretty much every single day of the month with loved ones. And it felt really good. That contrast felt good. I was feeling really alone for a while, and I was enjoying my own company, but I didn't realize how much I actually needed community around me and how important that was to me until I wasn't prioritizing it. The two things about May that are interesting to note is, number one, I spend pretty much every day with loved ones, which I said, but the other thing that was really interesting about the month of May was that in the span of 1 month, I have visited literally every single home I've ever lived in. So I was in Miami, and I flew from Miami to New York, but funny enough, we were about to land in LaGuardia, and then the captain came on and he's like, yeah, we had to turn around and land in Philly because something with the weather or the gas or whatever. And we landed in Philly, and the plane was delayed overnight. So I unexpectedly got a night at home. I went back to my hometown and got stranded in my hometown for a night. Literally landed, took an Uber to my childhood home. I was in my childhood home for 6 or 7 hours, got home, ate something, hugged my mom, chatted with her for a bit. I haven't seen her in 4 months, and then packed my bag, went to sleep, woke up the next morning, and got on a train to New York. So it was Miami, my childhood home, went to New York, and I stayed actually at a friend's apartment. She was out of town, and I was just staying at her apartment, so I was apartment sitting. And it was kind of like an Airbnb, but she lived 4 blocks away from where my first apartment in New York, my first dorm in the East Village. So wandered around there, and after work every day, I was just going and walking around. It's truly my favorite thing to do. My therapist asked me a couple weeks ago, he was like, what's one thing that's like super grounding to you that you've done in every location? And I said, walking. Like truly, I have been walking every day, everywhere I go. It's such an important part of my routine. And I didn't realize how important it was until all other areas of my routine went away. I'd get home from work and I would just wander around, and I saw my old apartment. Not only just that one, I saw every single old apartment. I wandered around the East Village, the Village, Chelsea. So I saw 3 of my old apartments. I lived in the East Village, the Village, and Chelsea for my first 3. And I saw a lot of loved ones. I saw a lot of friends. And then I had the most perfect New York weekend of all time. My mom came in on Friday. I went to co-work with a friend, like an old boss. I went to go work from her studio, and my mom came in and we had dinner and hung out, went to Soho. It took her to a dispensary. And then the next morning I was hanging out with the best friend of my ex-situationship, funny enough. And he's, do you want to go to a yoga class? Absolutely, hell yes. And he lives in Hell's Kitchen, which is again, another apartment that I used to live in. So I saw literally every single New York apartment I've ever lived in, including Hell's Kitchen. We went to yoga. And then we went to a party, but it was like a friend of his, and it was a rooftop down in Fidei. And when I tell you this was perfect peak New York weather, like 75 degrees and sunny, like you cannot get better than this. Went to a rooftop party, hung out with his friends, And then the four of us decided to leave. And we're like, let's go over to Brooklyn. Let's go over to Dumbo, which we went over to Dumbo. Or we were going to walk over the Brooklyn Bridge. And then one of his friends was like, oh my God, we should take the ferry. Like, we can get drinks, we can hang out. And we're like, where does the ferry leave from? And then we're like, oh wait, a block away. Let's fucking go. So we got on the ferry. The next one left in 5 minutes. It was magic. It was pure magic. Got on the ferry and took it over to Dumbo and hung out in Brooklyn Bridge Park, went to the Time Out rooftop, like just had the perfect New York day. And then we went back and hung out for a bit. And then I went back to my hotel to hang out with my mom. So that was Saturday, and that Sunday was Mother's Day, and I spent that with my mom and really close family friends. We had brunch, hung out, and we got Levain cookies, which, like, if you've ever been to New York, if you haven't been to New York, or if you're going, go to Levain cookies. They're so good. Got those, hung out in Central Park, and then my mom went home, and I just wandered around Central Park. And okay, I kept saying that this is how I've been super preoccupied with my life. My background's in fashion. I love fashion, and I forgot about the Met Gala. I forgot because I was just so busy in my own life. It's also around my birthday, so like I totally missed it. And I was like, oh dang, I really want to see the Met Gala, like the fashion exhibit. I really want to see it while I'm here. I don't know if I'm gonna get a chance. And I happened to be wandering around Central Park around that area, and I was like, oh shit, I wonder when it closes. The Met closes in like 45 minutes. So I get over there and I'm like, where can I buy tickets? And they're like, oh, the last 30 minutes of the Met are free. What? Okay. So I literally booked it to the fashion exhibit, and I got to see it in the last, like, literally they were closing as I was walking through the exhibit. Like, I was ushered out of the museum by the employees of the museum, and it was really just like magic. And I hung out with a really close friend after that, and I just had the best weekend ever. And it was really cool to see those homes. After that, I went to Savannah, Georgia, and hung out with my grandpa and his girlfriend, and hung out with them, just worked from his place. And from there, I went from there to Athens, Georgia, to hang out. There was a family wedding happening, and I went early to hang out with my grandma and just hung out with her. I love her so much. Like, I talk to her on the phone like twice a week, but it was really great to see her in person. Every time I get on the phone with her in the last like couple months, she's like, when are you coming? And I'm like, Grandma, I'm coming in May. Chill out. Like, I'm coming. And I went, and like, I love my Southern family. It's funny because I'm half Indian, and like, I'm much closer to my dad's side than my mom's side. And I was telling my best friend about all the stuff we were getting up to in Athens. And this is the whitest Indian family I've ever heard of. And it's like, yeah, it's the South. Like, it's my Southern family. They literally can kill and eat their own food. Like, they hunt things and eat it. They fish and eat it. They like grow all their own food. My grandma grows her garden. My aunt and uncle have their own garden. Like, it's insane. Like, they truly can live off the land. If there's a zombie apocalypse, I am going there. And listen, family weddings, I was there a week leading up to the family wedding, and weddings and death tend to bring out like the best and the worst in people, especially families. And there's a lot of tension and drama with the family wedding. And honestly, I've thought about this a lot, about the boundaries I want to set around what I feel comfortable sharing and what I don't feel comfortable sharing. And I think like family drama is something I'm not going to share publicly, just because it's not necessarily my story to tell. So if it's my story to tell, I don't care, but it's not really my story to tell with family drama. But just know there's drama and tension. And I personally didn't have any drama with anybody, but there was drama happening. And I found that I was feeling so stressed about the intricate dynamics of the family. And I wanted to focus on just my relationship with everybody and not the intertwining of the relationships, because it's truly not my responsibility to manage other people's relationships with each other. But it was there, and I really did enjoy spending time with my family. Like, weddings bring out a really stressful time in a lot of people, so it was a lot, truly. But I really enjoyed my time, and I got to hang out one-on-one with family members that I normally wouldn't have otherwise. Like, we stayed in this gorgeous Airbnb that had space for the whole family, and like, the wedding was beautiful, and it was really good to be around loved ones. And then I flew to Paris. One thing that was really interesting to see in this whole past month, in contrast to March and April, and I touched on it in the beginning, is in March and April, I spent so much time by myself. Like, Zion National Park, I was alone. LA, I was alone. Rio de Janeiro, I was alone. Coachella, I was alone. Like, I spent a lot of time by myself in March and in April, and I really enjoyed my time alone. But I realized, like, I'm truly a people person. Like, I love people. I love being social. I can make friends with a wall. I can make friends with a rock. And spending the whole month of May with loved ones made me feel so loved, and it was a really perfect send-off for this next chapter of the digital nomad journey. So 5 months to the day from when I started traveling, I flew to Paris. And people keep asking me while I'm here, they're like, well, why did you come to Paris? And I'm like, well, first of all, why not? Second of all, I'm chasing the summers. Like, I really can't stand the cold. And I knew I wanted to be in Europe. And I was like, okay, obviously, European summer. Like, there's nothing more iconic than that. And something that people might not know about me is like the French culture is such a big part of my life. And the French language is such a big part of my life. Like, I studied French when all through middle school and high school. It's funny because when I was in 5th grade, okay, you got the option when you were going into middle school to choose like French or Spanish. And I really wanted to learn French. And my dad was like, it's a useless language, take Spanish, blah, blah, blah. But I already sent in the forms and they said, okay, you can, I changed it later on. And I changed it. And then I got to middle school the first day and I was in the French classes. And I decided not to change back. And it was honestly like, I was maybe like 10 or 11 at the time. One of the best decisions I've ever made in my whole life. I studied French all through middle school. And it was like the one class I genuinely cared about. Like I wasn't learning the information to regurgitate it for a test. Like I studied to learn the language. And I did the same all through high school. I was in like honors classes in high school, all throughout high school, AP French. I studied it. So basically 8 years in a row. I did a French exchange program when I was a freshman in high school. So I lived here in Paris with a French family, and then a French girl came and lived with my family for 2 weeks. And I'm still friends with this girl. We're going to hang out at some point while I'm here, which is really cool. I met my high school sweetheart in my freshman year French class. And then I studied it in college a little bit, but I also did my study abroad here in Paris. I lived here for 4 months in 2018, and I loved being here. And at that point, when I left last time, I was semi-fluent. I was here for 3 months, 3.5 months. And by the time I left, I was semi-fluent. And I will never, ever forget. My mom came to visit me during study abroad. And we went to a party of like her friends, like her friend's party, my mom's friend. And my mom was the only one who didn't speak French there. So I was talking to everybody at the party, and then I would turn to my mom to translate. And I will never forget this moment. It's like one of the proudest moments of my life. My mom would turn to me and she's, Sasha, you have to switch your brain back to English. You're still speaking French to me. Like, you're not translating, you're just speaking French to me. And I was like, oh shit, I'm semi-fluent. And it was the coolest thing ever. And since then, I also work for a French company. Like, my 9-to-5 job is a French company. We are based in New York, but we have a Paris office. So I'm here for the summer, working from the Paris office a couple days a week, practicing my French. And that's what I'm doing here in Paris. So people keep asking me, and I'm like, pourquoi pas? Why not? Why would you not want to be in Paris for the summer? So, but I'm here studying my French and practicing my French and working for the Paris office and just like enjoying my time. I'm currently living in a community living house, which is a eco-friendly house with a community living company. And it's 30 bedrooms. I think only like 20 are filled right now, but it's got like three common kitchens, common gyms, cinema room, laundry, garden, co-working spaces, everything. And it's amazing. Like, it's really cool because I realized, okay, when I was by myself, I realized that community is like a top priority for me. And it's okay, well, in the next leg of the trip, I should prioritize living in community. And I was looking at different apartments around Paris, but then I found some community living spaces and I was like, actually, if community is something that's important to me and something I want to prioritize in my life, let's actually give it a shot. So I'm living in this community living house and I've been here for a week and I love it so far. I absolutely fucking love it. Like, I was walking around last week and I was walking around all these gorgeous cafes and thinking, oh man, I'm feeling FOMO. I wish I had friends or family or someone to hang out with at these gorgeous cafes to have my little apéro, whatever. And the next day, my housemate texts, or I saw him in the hallway, and he's, hey, we're all going out for a bar later. You want to come? I was like, absolutely. And it's funny because I'm typically the one to invite people out. I'm typically the one to initiate plans with people. And for people to be like, hey, like, you're always welcome. You're always welcome to hang out with whoever. There's always people around the house. Like, if you want to have people time, it's there. Or if you want alone time, it's there. And I'm loving it so far. Like, the people in my house are really nice. And everyone's kind, and it's so far so good. I've only been here for a week, right? So I'm not really in the drama of it all yet, and hopefully there's no drama, but it's really cool to be prioritizing community and living in community, and something that obviously I said I wanted to work on my French. A big reason why I'm here is because I wanted to practice my French. I studied French for 10 years. I was semi-fluent at one point. Now I just practice on Duolingo. Like, I have a over 1,000 day streak on Duolingo. and it's time for me to put it to the test. My friend has this rule that I've adopted myself where if you hear something that you should do something from 3 separate sources, you have to do it. Over the last year or so, or year and a half, I had 3 or 4 different friends tell me, Sasha, you need to work on your French. Like, you need to work on it. You've been studying it for 10 years. You were semi-fluent at one point. You have over 1,000-day streak on Duolingo, but you won't speak French. Like, anytime you have the opportunity, you don't do it. Like, where does that come from? And honestly, it's because I'm shy. And something I've committed to this year is seeking discomfort and like learning into discomfort and growing through discomfort. I'm going and bungee jumping, and I'm staying in places by myself and threw my routine out the window. And like, anytime there's discomfort and I like actively go towards it, I'm growing. And I finally found another discomfort wall to hurdle, which is the speaking French. Like, I studied it for so long. And it's funny because it's like I preach this all the time, and I should really practice what I preach, which is learning is basically trying and falling on your face and failing and trying again and failing and getting up and trying again. And I'm in a spot where it's okay. Like, I finally found something that feels really challenging. It feels really uncomfortable. And it's something I know I can do. And it's time to actually do it. Like, I was hanging out last night in a group of my housemates, and the sacred smoke circle is what I like to call it, when everyone like sits in a circle and smokes, basically. And one of my housemates looks at me and he's like, you speak French and you're not even trying. And granted, last night I was like so exhausted for my work day and so exhausted for my super long walk. And I didn't. And I tried a little bit last night, but he was right. So I'm not trying. And why is that? It's because I'm afraid. It's because I've been feeling afraid. I've been feeling afraid of failing. I've been feeling afraid of looking like an idiot. But you know what? I am going to look like an idiot, and I am going to fail. And that's okay. It's okay to fail. It's okay to look like an idiot, because if I'm not doing that, I'm not learning. It's like, I almost am putting off trying because it's not perfect. And that's the exact opposite of what I've been trying to preach this entire time, which is I'm a professional beginner. I'm not even a professional beginner at French. I'm a professional intermediate in French. Like, I understand really well, and I can speak it, and I can write, and I can read, but speaking it, the words choke up. So it's like I'm a professional intermediate, and I have to give two things. Number one, just try. Just fucking try. Just try to speak French. Just do my best. Just put myself out there, fall on my face, and learn from the experience, right? And like really put myself out there. That's number one, try. And number two is give myself freaking grace and be kind to myself in this process, because what I'm doing is like deeply uncomfortable. My therapist was telling me today, you need to punch your inner critic in the face, and you need to nurture your, like, being kinder to yourself. Like, you're doing a lot of things. He also said, you seem like worry-free. And I was like, yeah, I feel worry-free. I'm truly embracing this French lifestyle where like I work and I'm like finally in a little bit more of a routine. I'm getting towards routine, and like I don't feel stressed. Like, I feel really present in my life, and I feel like I'm just like really enjoying myself here. I'm really enjoying my time, and I feel present, and I feel like I don't feel stressed. Like, I feel happy. I feel really happy here. Yeah, I just need to have grace with myself and have presence and just be okay with the fact that it's going to take time. But the thing that gives me a little bit of comfort is the last time I lived here, right? I was semi-fluent after 3 months. And during that time, I was living in an apartment, and all of my roommates spoke English. Like, they didn't speak any French. And then when I went to school, all of my classes were in English. So I really wasn't speaking French that much beyond like just existing out in Paris and whenever I was doing that. And I also traveled a lot while I was here last time. But this time, I'm living in a house with a lot of French speakers, like a lot of people from France, which is like immersion there. And then I'm going to the office a couple days a week, and I'm going to be speaking French there too. So it is going to be immersion. Like, the only time I'm really going to be speaking English are during meetings for work, and then when I'm like talking to loved ones. And then, so I think I'm only going to be here 2.5 months, but I think with the immersion, I'm going to be fine. And I just need to be patient with myself, be kind with myself, and just try. Just try. Be proud of myself every day that I gave it a shot, that I practiced my French a little bit. And that's the other things I've been realizing is, okay, if I'm really going to immerse myself, I'm going on these crazy walks every day. Like, literally Saturday, I walked almost the equivalent of a marathon. I walked 20 miles. So 6 miles short of a marathon on Saturday, which, by the way, my feet are covered in blisters. They are not happy. Just to say that. When I'm on these walks, I'm listening to music with English lyrics, and I'm like, okay, I have a French playlist. I've always had a French playlist. I should download that, and I'm going to listen to French music on my walks. I'm going to listen to French podcasts and just like fully immerse myself, so that when I'm speaking English, it's like really only when I have to. And that's the way I'm going to learn. I'm scared and excited, which is how I know it's something I should be doing. Like, I feel excited to really be working on my French, but I feel scared too. Like, I feel scared to fall on my face. I feel scared to not be good enough. I feel nervous about like making a fool of myself. And you know what? I am going to make a fool of myself, and that's a whole part of the process, but I'd rather try and fail than not try at all. And I'm really looking forward to all of that. I'm really excited about all of that. But that's like whenever I do that, it's like I know it's a good decision when I'm feeling scared and excited about something, which I truly am at this point. And yeah, just working and walking. I don't have a ton of travel plans yet. I wanted to embrace more spontaneity on this leg of the trip. So I have two trips planned as of right now, but there were 2 other places I really wanted to go, or three other places I really wanted to go. So I'm sure I'll get there at some point, and I'm really looking forward to it. But in the meantime, I'm just chilling, and I'm just really enjoying my time here. It's such a beautiful city. It's such a beautiful culture. I have been taking a break from guys. I haven't really physically interacted with anybody since that whole big thing with Dr. Leprechaun. And there have been a couple flirtationships here and there, but none that I'm like really pursuing actively. I'm not actively going out and looking for anybody. To be honest, I've really just been enjoying focusing on myself. I've really been enjoying my own time, my own company, nurturing my relationships with my friends, my family. Like, I'm not really looking for anything. If I pick up a French lover or 2 or 5 or whatever, cool. But like, I'm not in any sort of rush to do that. And I'm not like craving anything. I'm not really craving that right now. I'm just like enjoying being here. Have not really been eating a ton of French food yet. To be honest, I haven't been eating a ton. I just haven't been hungry. I've been eating to live, not living to eat. One of my housemates is a amazing chef, so he's been like cooking for the house sometimes, so I'll eat some of that. And I had my first clepe yesterday, and not that it matters, but I'm sure I'll get more into the French cuisine as time goes on. But in the meantime, I'm just really enjoying my time, and I feel really present and really grounded. I'm finally like facing another challenge and another discomfort that I'm really leaning into and pursuing, and I'm really excited to see what the summer has to offer. So I hope you enjoy this leg of the trip. It's the European summer leg of the trip. It's the Paris leg of the trip. I don't know what I'm going to get into, but I'm excited. I'm really excited. And come along the ride with me. Come along the journey with me. Let's see what I learn. Let's see what I get into. And in the meantime, I'm just going to be chilling and walking and working and speaking French. So we'll see you guys next week on the Visualize Meditations podcast. À bientôt. Bisous, bisous, bisous. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Visualize Meditations podcast. Please follow, subscribe, leave a review, all of the good things. If you want to connect more, you can find me on TikTok and Instagram at Living Your Vision. So what are you waiting for? Get out there, create the life of your dreams, and we will see you next week.